What's good, y'all? It's Pod.cannion, and I'm back with another reaction video. We have Nomsy. This is the B movie from Ken's perspective is tragically hilarious, which is so true. I've thought of this before. I think I've seen posts of this before. But like from Ken's perspective of this movie, he literally just sees his girl randomly fall out of love with him with a bug, and it's just like, what the fuck did I do? So yeah, this is gonna be interesting, especially if he narrates as well. So if y'all like the video, like it, subscribe if you're new, because all we do is chill over here. That being said, let's get into this video.
Is probably one of the strangest movies ever made, with its questionable messaging being that if you try to take back from the evil corporations in the world will end. So it's better to just let yourself be exploited so the world can keep on turning, I guess. But if you shift the perspective from the main character of the story and instead focus on the secondary villain, it becomes a story about watching your girlfriend get seduced by a bee that nearly destroys the world. But to understand this, let me just put you in his shoes. So imagine that you are Ken something, a normal, regular human in a normal, regular world. You love tennis and yoga, two things that you like to do with your girlfriend, Vanessa. You also have a multitude of special skills, and you kind of have a bit of a competitive streak. But hey, that's just who you are. One day, though, you're playing tennis with Vanessa, and you're absolutely smoking her. Just as you get to match point, you hear a cough, and you get thrown off your game. And, well, that was just weird, wasn't it? Anyway, the weather takes a turn for the worse, so you and your friends head back to Vanessa's, which is probably the most aggressively 2000s thing about this movie, that a single person can afford a flat like this in New York City without needing to share. But that's just normal. But what isn't normal is your new resume, a fold-out brochure that you are super proud of, and you want to show to all your friends because it is an innovation in of itself.
Even my top 10 favorite movies. What's your number one? Star Wars? Nah, not go for that. Pew, pew, pew.
Maybe after all these years, you could finally get a job. I mean, every time you have a wonderful interview and...
When I walk out of a job interview, they're flabbergasted. They can't believe the things I say.
Clearly, they just can't hear how magnificent you are. And I mean, you are literally the guy that...
I predicted global warming. I could feel it getting hotter.
These scientists be damned. All they need to do is listen to you. Just as your friend is about to munch on his Cool Ranch-flavored Doritos with guacamole dip, you see he's about to eat a bee. Of course, you and your friends are civilized creatures, so your immediate reaction is to kill the f***ing thing instantly, and there's only one way that you can do that.
Winter boots.
Just as you're about to win the day and kill the bee, Vanessa comes in and stops you. And I mean, like, that's weird, right? You're allergic to bees. She knows this, so it's either his life or yours. But okay, she thinks that a bee's life is worth the same as yours? Is that what she's implying, that you are the same worth as a literal insect? Well, she really doesn't think that highly of you, does she? Oh, but apparently it's because she thinks all life has value, does it? Well, that's a normal sentiment, but she didn't have to rip up your brochure, May.
Yeah, she could have.
Because why the hell not? And I mean, if you weren't just simmering over the fact that she just ripped up your brochure, May, you would have seen her give the bee the bedroom eyes. Anyway, to make sure that your masculinity stays intact, you tell your friends you weren't scared. You just didn't want a puffy face.
Bye, Vanessa.
Vanessa next week, yogurt night?
Yeah, sure, Ken. You know, whatever.
She kicks you out. Straight up. Gets rid of you. Whatever. So you go do your stuff. And I mean, it's very unclear what you actually do that isn't tennis and job hunting and yoga. So a week goes by, and you go to Vanessa's shop to have yogurt night.
You attack at the point of weakness.
But it was my grandmother, Ken.
And I mean, Vanessa just does not understand. You're a winner. Doesn't matter if they're 18 or 80. You're going to take advantage of any weakness they have and crush them.
Honey, her backhand's a joke. I'm not going to take advantage of that.
But that's when a bee says it's working. Like a talking bee, the same bee from before. And Vanessa is treating this like it's the most normal thing in the world. Oh God, hang on, not only does the bee talk, but she wants to help him soothe the human race? Like, excuse me? Huh? And then she escorts you out of the shop. She wants to sacrifice yogurt night for a bee.
Oh, why is yogurt night so difficult?
So you walk home. Doesn't really seem like she cares about you all that much when you think about it. It's like she's just using you for your body and discards you the morning after or when she has no use for you.
Oof.
And all you want to do is have a cute yoga night and watch shit movies. It's a shame.
That's a shame.
Hey, bro. Did you know that this A1911 is totally legal for everyone?
All women think about is sex. But then one day you're strolling along
I know,
and
right,
catch a
women?
TV on the sidewalk. You don't really watch the news unless it's something to do with Wimbledon because you think it's kind of cringe. But then you see that the bee is in the courtroom and they are actually suing the human race. But what you don't understand is why Vanessa is on the lawyer table with them, whatever that thing is called, I don't know. And not with the audience. Huh? She's not a lawyer, she's a goddamn florist. Why is she there? But anyway, she's still supporting this beat, and that's something going on, isn't it? And you can smell it. And then they have the audacity to sue Sting for his name because it's offensive to them.
I forgot about that joke. No, I didn't process that joke as a kid because I didn't know what Sting was. That's hilarious.
Like, okay, sure, why not? So you decide to go to Vanessa and get caught up in traffic. You were a bit late, but that's okay. She's probably waiting for you. But that's when you walk in at the two of them cheersing over a candlelit dinner and roses. Like, what the fuck?
Want all this to go to waste, so I called Barry. Luckily, he was free.
Uh-huh. You just happened to call the guy that you've been with for the last few days in the courtroom, and he just happened to be free. I mean, like, she is really giving him the bedroom lies. And, like, what's next? Romantic flyovers? Honeymoon? You know what's going on here. This bee's trying to steal your girlfriend. And, like, this is the bee that's trying to sue your race. This bee is ruining your life.
So, I hear you're quite a tennis player. I'm not much for the game myself. I find a ball a little grabby.
So then they have the audacity to say that eating with chopsticks is not a special skill. Like, come on, man, eating with chopsticks is hard.
It is kind of difficult.
For his buzz. I hope that was all right.
Oh!
And you just cannot have that. And Vanessa had let it slip a few days ago that the bee's weakness is Italian Vogue. And just, luckily, Vanessa had that lying around after finding that fact out. So you try to run a little cheeky 1v1 with a little turd, but it barely goes the way that you're expecting.
Something stinks in here.
I love the smell of flowers.
Turns out a bee is pretty nimble when you're trying to set it on fire. But then you fall into the shower and you get a genius idea. Bees hate water. So you spray the little bastard and it falls in the toilet.
Well, well, well. A royal flush.
But then it learns to surf a nail file and splashes you in the face with water. Like, bear in mind that together those things barely displace water. So how they manage to produce that level of a splash, you don't know. But now you have to question everything. A few days ago, the world was normal. You were showing Vanessa how great you are at tennis by ruthlessly destroying her mum. And now there's a talking bee taking your girlfriend and suing your species. And, I mean, at this point, you have to question whether or not, like, there's some kind of psychosis going on in the world. How is this normal? How are people just accepting a bee sue the human race? What?
Dirty yellow ring.
But that's when Vanessa comes in to save the bee, and she is taking his side, apparently. That's ridiculous. It's a bee. You are her boyfriend.
Time? What are you talking about? Are there other bugs in your life?
No.
So you storm out, but not before you want to get your last word in.
I prefer sugar-free, artificial sweeteners made by man.
Yeah, they might give you cancer. And yeah, they could be worse for you than sugar. But hey, artificial sweeteners, they're the nuts. No wonder they're in just about everything. But you continue to watch the trial. You turn into a bit of a hate watcher. You watch this bee really doing its best to destroy everything. And they win from a literal smoking gun. Right. And I mean, it was close, all things considered, especially when the human lawyer got stung by one of the bee people, but they still won. Well, whatever, I guess. You didn't really like Honey all that much anyway, so...
The theatrics.
Take him out.
Take him out.
But then, time passes, and the flowers, they start to die. And you sort of revel in that fact, because that bee took away Vanessa's livelihood. She definitely chose wrong. She could have had you and yogurt night. But now she gets bees and dead flowers. And I mean, like, what do they even talk about? Nectar, pollination techniques? How does that even work? How does the sex work? Does she use him like a bullet vibrator? How do they avoid that? You know what? You don't want to think about
Bullet
that because that's
vibrate.
not something you want to imagine.
No,
but then it
it's
gets
not.
worse. The flowers keep dying, and it looks like a world without bees is actually going to fall in on itself. But isn't this just like honeybees? Isn't there like a million of other species that also pollinate, like butterflies, hummingbirds, as well as a shitload of other insects? And the world is going to die because one species said they didn't want to do it anymore? Sure. I guess. Why not, right? So then you hear about the last ever flower show on the news, and I mean, well, that's just peachy, ain't it? The world is actually ending because your girlfriend caught feelings for a bee. How do you explain to someone that she literally chose somebody with a shorter expiry date than a yogurt? But then you hear that the bees took the pollen from the flower show and pollinated the world. And I mean, this wasn't like a gradual thing. This was like some basically instant magical bee shit or something. And then, literally, they all turned back to normal the same day. And you walk past Vanessa's shop, and you see the bee in there. He ruined your life. He almost ruined the planet. He nearly destroyed her job. And he got the girl in the end, and the cherry on top. The bees live a couple months. So she's going to end up alone, probably in a week or two, running a shop that almost didn't exist because of that bug. Well, I guess that's justice served, I guess. Anyway, Vanessa, enjoy your bee lover. Meanwhile, you'll be thriving with your yogurt, your tennis racket, and, well, who are you kidding? You're going to be crying into your Chobani watching the Wimbledon highlights next week. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I just want to shout to my members, especially
I like how it
Lavender, Mary,
highlighted the like
and
button. That's nice. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. Yeah, I like this channel as well. Yeah, this was a cool little video. If y'all like the video, like it. I was like, is a car gonna drive by or not? And I hear a car. If y'all like the video, like it, subscribe if you're new. All we do is chill over here. And yeah, that being said, y'all be great. Y'all be safe. Keep getting to that bag. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace.